Hello and welcome everybody to another Pioneer Masters Draft. All right, no 5-color nonsense this time around. We are gonna put on our try-hard pants. I actually analyzed the draft from yesterday. I should have been blue-white flyers. This time, we are just gonna try to read the signals and not force anything because I really need to start taking things a little more seriously if I want to win $2,000 this month in the Arena Open. Now, before we head into this draft, I wanted to say that this video is brought to you by TCGplayer.com. Check out TCGplayer.com for all your TCG singles and sealed product needs. Whether you need to buy some booster boxes of foundations or any other product, or some singles to round out your constructed deck, make sure you check out TCGplayer.com and click that affiliate link in the description below. Additionally, check out heavyplay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. If you want top-of-the-line deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, and more, go to heavyplay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. Additionally, they're going to have a presence at SCG cons, at all the Magic cons, so make sure you swing by their booth and say hi, tell them Paul sent you, and you will still get that discount applied on the spot. All right, here we go. Don't give me another Chromanticore, because that would be rude. All right, there is a Woodland Wanderer, which is definitely a solid creature. Even if you play this in a 2-color deck, it's a 4-mana 4/4 Vigilance Trample, which is not bad. There's a Zephyr Winder at Uncommon, which is not bad. I mean, I think I'm just going to take the Woodland Wanderer here. If I'm a base green deck, I don't even necessarily need to go Gates. But if I'm 2 colors or possibly a 3rd color, this just has the potential to be absolutely massive. So I do think I'm going to take that here. Hero of Erois, Liev Sky Knight are also cards to consider. And the Naturalist isn't bad in this format because there's a bunch of enchantment creatures. But let's take the mono-colored card and kind of move from there. But of course, very happy to not play this and just move into a different color combination if that's something that interests me. Here, there's a Guild Summit, but you are not going to trap me. There is a Thunderclap Wyvern, which is really good if you're the blue-white Flyers deck. Toil and Trouble is not particularly good. Gearport Gearcrafter is a decent creature. And then, District Guide is also fantastic. I think I'm looking at District Guide here. It's just the safest card to follow up the Woodland Wanderer. I think there's a lot of cards that are similar in power level to the District Guide. Cards like the Gearcrafter and the Thunderclap Wyvern might even be slightly better. But given that we first picked the Wanderer, I'm just going to take the District Guide and figure out what my second color might need to be before making that decision. Here we have, okay, this is kind of interesting. I haven't drafted a more aggressive green deck, but there's an experiment one. I wonder how good that is. What else is there? I'm not really looking to take Sin Collector here after this start. There's Fall of the Hammer, Audacity, and Experiment 1 as options. Kind of interested in just being a little more aggressive and playing an Experiment 1 deck if possible. My creature count's going to need to be very high if I do this, though. But you know what? Let's go for it. Let's take it here and see what happens. Okay, that is a 4th pick. Liev Sky Knight. But there's also a Bile Blight, which is an incredible removal spell. There's also an Unflinching Courage, which is a nice way to... If I do the green-white Aura deck, this is a nice way to raise some of the aggro decks. I mean, I can take it here. It could mean that green-white is open. This is a Signpost Uncommon. Bile Blight is okay, but the double black really makes me shy away from this as a removal effect. If this was 1 in a black, that would be a huge difference. So I just don't think this card is that insane. Liev Sky Knight is also interesting, given that I have all the mana fixing, but I'm just going to try to see if I can avoid being 3 colors. And given our green start, I don't want to take the Sky Knight, so I think the pick for me is the Unflinching Courage. Let's just try to be a little more aggro here and see how that goes for us. Now, that is another Bile Blight here out of this pack. There's also a Fall of the Hammer, Zendikar Incarnate, some Gruul cards here that stand out, but there's also a pretty late Ardenvale Tactician. And if I do end up going green-white, it's a nice way to clear the way. So I think this card is also a fine option. I don't think this is a Voyaging Satyr deck. So yeah, I mean, there's a Fall of the Hammer, but I think the Tactician is also good enough here to take, given our start here. All right, and that's another Ardenvale Tactician, so I do like that. There's also an Anchor to the Ether, which is a really nice interactive spell. But outside of that, everything else looks kind of mediocre. I mean, there's some Martial Glory's an okay trick, but let's just take another Tactician here. Noting that we are seeing blue and white cards here, so that's just something to keep track of. I mean, if there's a way we can somehow hard pivot out of green-white, maybe we can pull it off. We'll see. But for now, I mean, I'm just seeing a bunch of green and white cards, so I'm just going to keep taking it. I'll take a compulsory rest here. I don't think Glade Cover Scout is good in the green-white deck. There's also Shoulder to Shoulder, but this is kind of slow too. It's a late Possessed Scub. Yeah, I'm going to take compulsory rest because now that I have compulsory rest and unflinching courage, picking up a Heliod's Pilgrim becomes really nice. And this, we don't have that many ways to kill things, so I think this is a decent way to go. Alive and Well, 4 mana for a 3/3 or gain 2 life for each creature you control. I don't think that card's very good. Keening Apparition is fine, and so is the Guild Gate. The question is that better or worse than the Guild Gate? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to actually take the Guild Gate here, just because the Ardenvale Tactician is double white. So this is me just thinking, oh, I'm probably going to get enough playables here. So let's take the Guild Gate, make our mana base better. And, you know, maybe we can potentially branch into a third color here and take something like a Sky Knight. Although I'm not sure how good Pulse of Murasa is in general. I don't think Miming Slime is good. All right, I'm just going to take Evolving Wilds here. There's a lot of good cards. There's, you know what? No, never mind. I changed my mind. I'm going to take the Liev Sky Knight here over the Evolving Wilds because there is a world that blue and white's open. And look, Thunderclap Wyvern tabled. So we might have to make the pivot here. Getting the Liev Sky Knight 9th pick has to be some kind of a signal there. And we didn't see a million green cards. So maybe we can make this really, really late pivot. It's going to be tough. We're going to need to continue tabling a bunch of stuff for me to pull the trigger on this decision here. Don't really like any of these cards. I think Leaf Crown Dryad is probably the best card here. So I'm going to take this here. I mean, these blue and white cards are present, but you know, if I continue seeing blue and white cards, I can certainly take them, but if I don't, that's fine. I can still just have a fine green-white deck here. And if I get enough flyers and enough fixing, I mean, it's possible I can still just splash both of those cards, right? So. Alright. Didn't table. If I got another random late Liev Sky Knight, that would be something else. Okay. Moving on to pack number 2. This is an amazing pack, not for us. There is a Zathra Necromancer, Ultimate Price, Ob Nixilis' Cruelty. All very, very premium level removal spells. There's a Basara Tara Archer. I'm not a big fan of this card. Wow, this pack is really bad for us. Is it a Sajiri Shelter? I think so. I mean, if I wanted to go blue-white, I could just take the Cloudfin Raptor here, but I just feel like I have enough decent cards in green and white where it's just, the Shelter is just going to be good in a blue-white deck anyways. So let's just take the Shelter here and just make sure that we have a solid card for our deck. All right, moving on to this pack here, we have Boon Satyr and Heliod's Pilgrim and Hero of Erois. Curious what I take out of this pack. A lot of good options. Hero of Erois seems good, and so does the Boon Satyr. I am lacking 2 mana plays, so I think I'm going to go for the Hero of Erois. Just because I just lack the 2s. I think Boon Satyr is also the other consideration. I think Heliod's Pilgrim is probably a distant third. Boon Satyr is a really good trick, but I just need 2 mana plays, and this card is just excellent if I'm trying to do the green-white thing. So let's go ahead and take Hero of Erois. And don't really care about Knightly Valor, but I will take Loxodon Smiter. There's also Savage Punch in this pack, but come on. 3 mana for a 4/4. Let's take the 3 mana for a 4/4. Alright, green-white. Lock it in. Lock it in. Seed Guardian is just a totally fine creature to play in any green deck. It replaces itself when it dies with at least a 1/1. I don't really care about Open the Armory or the Trailblazer, I don't think. Granted, this is not the best Seed Guardian deck, but I'll take it still. It's technically a 4-drop. Oh, another Hero of Erois. Very, very happy to pick up just good premium 2-drops. This card used to be a rare. I'm not saying it's insane or anything, but I do think it's a very, very good card, particularly in a green-white deck that's looking to do some aura shenanigans. This is the 2-mana play of choice. And look, now we got the Boon Satyr, although there's also a Selesnya Charm. Hero of Lina Tower is also interesting, but I don't think it's better than these other two. Yeah, I'm going to take the Boon Satyr. Now with the double Hero of Erois, the Boon Satyr is starting to look amazing. And now we have Pilgrim's Eye versus Conclave Naturalist, I think. I mean, I'm not really, I don't really care about a third color here, right? I could take Pilgrim's Eye or the Naturalist. This is a fine top-end card. Just kills an enchantment, which can be value. Although this gives me fixing for the, I'll take the Naturalist. I don't really have a big top-end card here, So we'll play the Naturalist here and see where things go. Now I'll take Heliod's Pilgrim. We have 2 good targets for the Pilgrim, which is great. Don't really need the Knightly Valor so much. We have lots of creatures, which is, of course, very, very good with Experiment 1. Could certainly use more 2-mana plays here. Just more Hero of Erois. I'm very happy that I took the Hero of Erois, just so that I can curve out naturally here. Oh, the Cloudfin Raptor tabled. Absolutely nobody is in blue. But you know what else is really going to be good here? Wow, this pack is nuts. Not for us, but there's a Gore-Clan Rampager, a Zathrid Necromancer, and a Cloudfin Raptor. But I'm going to take the Rogue's Passage. I think, given that we have a Selesnya Guildgate, and a District Guide, this seems like a really nice card to try to close out the game. And kind of acts as... Yeah, and we have the Guildgate here, right? So the mana situation is a little bit better here because of that. And I'll take the second Heliod's Pilgrim here. There is an Azorius Guildgate. I don't think these blue cards are good enough to splash anyways. So let's just stay 2 colors. And now I'm on the market for another aura. With 2 Heliod's Pilgrim, I definitely want to pick up a 3rd aura if possible. So whether that's a Knightly Valor, Unflinching Courage, any of those types of cards would be nice to go with this. Boon Satyr, I'm actually going to put as a 5-mana. And there's the Knightly Valor. All right, there we go. I don't think Knightly Valor is insane by any means, but with double Heliod's Pilgrim and double Hero of Erois, making this cost only 4 mana to enchant, it certainly makes it a lot better. Audacity is also a nice card to get with the Heliod's Pilgrim. Ooh, I'll take a spell land here. Colony Ambush works really well with Hero of Erois. I think that's better than another colorless land. Okay. Ooh, Hero of Line. Should I play this card? I don't actually know how good it is. I guess it just depends on how many heroic things I do. And I just need a lot of mana, that's the issue. But maybe, I mean, if there's a deck that it's good and it's this... And now we open a pack with literally nothing for us. Literally. I mean, there's just... There's not a card I want in my deck. What the heck? A Swift Reckoning, maybe? Do I want to splash black? I guess I'll take Swift Reckoning in case I need some interaction, but in this type of deck, Reckoning is not what you want. Wow, another pretty weak pack. I guess I'll take Selesnya Charm, as it's a pretty good combat trick and also acts as a 2-mana creature as well. So we'll take that over shoulder to shoulder. Happy enough putting this in the 2-mana slot here, just because it works. Another Murmuring Mystic. We passed one already. Another Cloudfin Raptor. Could have been blue-white. Could have been, but I mean, now it is simply far too late. I guess it's the shoulder to shoulder? Alright. I mean, I guess it's good with Hero of Erois. I don't really want to take Evolving Wilds. I already have a few tap lands, and you don't want to play that many in your 2-color decks. Not that shoulder to shoulder is a good card by any means, but I'm just trying here. We are getting absolutely cut off here. This is crazy. I mean, what? There's just nothing in here for us. There's a Swift Reckoning. There's black-white cards. There's a Basara Tower Archer, but that's really hard to cast. I guess I'll take another Swift Reckoning. I don't think I want Miming Slime. You know what? I'm not playing double Swift. I'm just gonna take the Guildgate here, and in case I have to somehow change into blue or something. All right, what do we have here? All right, I will take another Compulsory Rest, though. It's not the best removal spell, but with double Heliod's Pilgrim, having access to 4 aura seems nice. And now with double Hero of Erois, we can be some kind of aura tribal type deck here. We could pull that off, maybe. Here, this is another... There's a Thunderclap Wyvern in the pack. I see it, don't worry. I'll take Mentor of the Meek. I guess it's a playable card in this deck. We have lots of 2-power creatures. And now we have an interesting choice. Leaf Crown Dryad versus Gnarlback Rhino. I think I want the Rhino. I've got some 2s already, and I don't have that many 4s. And this is really good with a bunch of auras. Let's take the Rhino. Just for a little more beef. How many Thunderclap Wyverns was that, by the way? Unreal. This pack is... I mean, I just don't have that many flyers. What do I take? I'm not playing Unravel the Ether or Natural State or Syndicate Messenger. I guess I'll just take the Wyvern. Maybe there's some crazy world where crazy things can happen. Yeah, okay. I mean, blue, like I said, blue and white was clearly where we needed to be. And these packs are, you know, Cloudfin Raptor, just nobody in the blue Flyers archetype. And I thought we might need to go there, but like we still have fine green cards in our deck. It's not bad. Oh my gosh. This is nuts. I mean, that's the importance of finding your lane though, right? It's like if you can't, then all of a sudden you're fighting a bunch of other people for cards that you want. So it's kind of what happened here. I think we can still make this deck work, but it is not nearly the deck that it could have been. But that's okay. Double. I mean, we could have had triple Wyvern, triple Cloudfin. Yeah, okay, we're fine. We're fine. We'll play a Seed Guardian, and I don't really care about Pulse of Murasa in this type of deck, and don't really care about Miming Slime. All right, I think this is probably just the deck here. Sajiri Shelter means -1 plains, -1 forest for the Colony Ambush. That gives us access to 8 green sources and 9 white sources. Our mana isn't perfect because we have a double green cards and double white cards. So I'm just going to go by what they're telling me to do here, which is play more white than green, which I think is fine. Although we do have Experiment 1, but I also really want to play Ardenvale Tactician on 3. All right, this should be okay. And my curve isn't super crazy high, so I think just 17 lands with these spell lands in the District Guide is going to be more than fine. And yeah, this is our deck. Is it awesome? Not particularly, but I think we can just curve out and maybe get like 4 wins. We'll see. I'll try my best, that's for sure. Once again, another draft where we probably should have been blue-white, but starting out with the Woodland Wanderer, and then, I mean, we did take some cards on the pivot, but just felt like we didn't see enough, and we just kept taking the green cards. So it is what it is. But I think this deck is still fine. Still has what it takes. We'll see where it goes. All right, now before round 1 starts, I just wanted to say that if you've been enjoying all of this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, the best way to do so is through my Patreon. Shout out to all the patrons. Thank you so much for all of your support. It really does mean a lot and allows me to continue making all of this wonderful content for you. I don't plan on stopping for all of 2025. All right, gonna go first here. 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop? Maybe? Turn 1, Experiment 1 into Selesnya Charm. If I don't draw a 2-mana creature, I am certainly just going to make a 2/2 here. Oh my gosh, what a curve. We went Experiment 1, Selesnya Charm, Loxodon Smiter on the play. That is amazing, with Unflinching Courage in our hand. Hero of Erois, sure. What a curve. This deck really probably could have used Audacity. We did see 1 or 2 early in the draft, but not much more after that. What is this? First Strike. Okay, that's kind of annoying. But I can just play Woodland Wanderer. And this will be a 4/4, and this will also be a 4/4. All right, they're at 5 life. And we have a Rogue's Passage with Unflinching Courage and Compulsory Rest in hand. I mean, this is about as good of a 1, 2, 3, 4 as you can get in my deck. But they obviously have a good start here, so it's still pretty scary what they can pull off here. A Plains would be ridiculous. But I think we're going to be good regardless. Why were they... Oh, until end of turn. I was like, why were they so big then? Compulsory Rest and Beatdown. I mean, this was simply just me being on the play, honestly. They had a great start too, right? Turn 2 Hero, turn 3 Annex into Shoulder to Shoulder is an awesome start, but I just had an unbeatable start with that hand. Beatdowns! Maybe that's the name of the game. There's a lot of sweet things you can do in this format, but there's a lot of really good aggressive things you can do as well. Alright, on the play here, I'm gonna keep, but it's not awesome. I don't have any 1 or 2 drops, but I have a Loxodon Smiter on 3, and then if I draw land number 4, I can just jam the Woodland Wanderer, which I think is still fine. Hero of Erois off the top would be fantastic, but we did not find that. Very slow start from the opponent. Man, I wish I had a 2-drop here, just to really punish them. But, hey, being able to go Smiter into Woodland Wanderer, depending on the removal situation, can still be really, really good. But the removal in this format is pretty good. Okay, that's not as bad. Oh, I mean, it's a good card, obviously. I can't attack here, but... Does this thing have reach? No. Only Vigilance and Trample. I hope playing all of these guild gates really hurts my opponent. I really do. Really hoping it just really messes them up. I do want to kind of probably slow down their beats, so I wonder if I should just go get Compulsory Rest here. I think I should, and just attack. I mean, the other option is Knightly Valor. But if they just kill this, then they hit me for 6. Let's go with Compulsory Rest. They're not going to have the mana to sack this, at least for the next few turns, just because of all the pressure that we have. So I think I would rather do this. Make it so that they just can't cheese me out with some flyers. And, I mean, we still have some giant monsters that they need to permanently deal with. The Sky Knight is a nice way to slow things down, but they're going to need to actually... Okay. The nice thing is they can't target their own Sky Knight with Gust of Wind. They can't counter this, which is also good. They're splashing up Nyxlis Cruelty? Sure. I think I'm just going to tap the Sky Knight here. Save some damage. Still put some pressure on with my creatures in play. I mean, they drew their mana, and they certainly have a lot of power here. Mentor of the Meek. Goodness. Okay. I'm at 14. Let's attack. They seem to have a lot of interaction, I will say. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the issue with the Unflinching Courage if your opponent's just playing a deck with... This is kind of ridiculous. What are you... You're splashing Imperious Oligarch? I guess they're just straight 3 colors. Just straight 3 colors. This attack at 9 life is a bold one. We built our own Serra Angel. We're kind of all in. This is all we have. I mean, their deck is sweet. Just like Esper, tokens or whatever, I guess. And they do have a fair amount of interaction, too. If they don't block next turn, I can kill them with the Boon Satyr. But that's a big if. They have 4 cards in hand. And a Syndicate Messenger with... Yeah, okay. So, this is getting out of hand, absolutely. That is the one issue with green-white. You just kind of run out of gas. If your opponent stabilizes and has a couple of timely removal spells for your big things, what do you do? Right? What do you do? They're just drawing so many cards, and I'm like super all in on this combination. This Mentor of the Meek has actually been very problematic. Five cards in hand from the opponent. A bounce spell on the Tactician is just a disaster. I guess they're just straight up all the colors. All 3, right? Just feels like, at least the Oligarch... I mean, yeah, I don't know their deck, though, so I can't really comment on this. They could be... It actually looks like they're a black-white deck, splashing blue for the, like, double Sky Knight and Gust of Wind, which is fine if your mana is good. Keening Apparition, okay. Wow, this is ungated? I thought you could only do this once a turn for some reason. Okay, 4/5. Oh, Obnixilus's Cruelty? Is there a sacrifice a creature, kill a thing? I still don't know all the cards. This is where like a Rogue's Passage or something would be perfect, right? Because that lets you just get the final few points of damage in. Of all the things to cast, Pelakka Predation? Okay, they must have... God, we were so close to killing them. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, since we can't, we'll just attack. I do want to kill this Mentor of the Meek. I think they're going to sack the Sky Knight end of turn. So we'll just fight the Mentor of the Meek. What? What on earth? I guess they have a way to bounce the Sky Knight, right? That's the only explanation here. They must have a way to give this protection from a color or something. Because why don't you want to use your mana there? And I feel like if they had a removal spell for the Tactician, they would have used it already, right? I don't know. Like the turn where they cast a Predation, I would have guessed that they would have just found a way to kill the Tactician, but we'll see. We'll see where this goes. Far and away. What do you do? Ah. I see. Do I want that to come back? I don't think so. Like, if they have a removal spell for Art of Veil Tactician, so be it. This could be a Bile Blight, I guess. Sure. Alright, I mean, at this point, we're basically dead. We don't have flyers, we just have no way to push through for damage. Let's play the flyer, I guess. This is the best Mentor of the Meek ever, by the way. Okay. Okay, we're dead now. I mean, our opponent had a very solid kind of Esper deck. Just all good cards, good value. Put together their deck very, very nicely. So, not really much I can say about all of that. All I can say is GG's. Good deck, opponent. Alrighty. We are on the play. I mean, we're getting good mana for the most part, so I can't complain about that at all. We have the turn 1 Experiment 1 this time. Turn 2 Leaf Crown Dryad. Get out of here. It's okay. We were on the play. Haha. And if they play a creature, I'm definitely just trading. Oh, they don't have a... Oof. That is brutal for you, friend. We had like almost the exact same curve. A plains off the top would be amazing. That's not going to get it done, though. Compulsory rest. I mean, if they just play a creature here, they're dead. Yep. Boom. Well, that's why you take the Experiment 1. It allows you to have those ridiculous cards. I will say, this is very lucky. My deck is actually not that good at being able to get those types of starts. And we've been able to pull it off twice. Alrighty, on the play here. Ooh. I have nothing. I can cast nothing. Alright, we got a mulligan. Our deck just can't win with that type of hand. Let's keep this. And what do I want to bottom? Is it the Heliod's Pilgrim? Or is it the Tactician? I think it's the Pilgrim. It's just the slowest card that I have. And I'm on the play, so I just want the most aggressive start possible. And that starts with turn 2 Hero of Erois into turn 3 Smiter. Okay. White-black has a lot of removal. Oh, that's good, though. Oh, man, that would have been so nice. I think we played a Tactician. I'm playing the... I mean, the Ambush is a nice removal spell, and if I draw a bunch of lands, it's pretty bad. But I feel like, given our board, they're gonna need to use a removal spell on my creatures, and so I want to be able to just fire off Knightly Valor next turn, and just for maximum damage. Well, given that they have all this mana up, I'm not gonna do that, and I just drew like the perfect card, so we'll do that instead. They 100% have some kind of removal spell here. Yep. Alright, we just need to hope they don't have too much more removal, right? This is our hand. This is what we had. They're playing Quicken? Oh, these 4-color decks and their nonsense. I'm gonna do this because they could have Bioblight. Jwari Disruption? Sure. Alright, they're at 8 life. They're obviously on the cusp of surviving here. What do we have to get? Gust of Wind, I don't care too much about. I mean, obviously it's good, but we're able to still put pressure on, which is important here. Let's see, I have double compulsory rest, knightly valor, and unflinching courage. Three. In case they have a discard effect, I will keep the planes. Because I can still go Heliod's Pilgrim into compulsory rest or unflinching courage if I draw land. I guess the downside is if they bounce my Wanderer. Yeah. That is the downside. And if they draw a land. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Oh, Paul. Paul. It's okay. If they don't have a removal spell, the Tactician can get it done next turn. They're digging. They want to find a way to kill... I mean, both of these cards are kind of problematic. Let's see what they find with Celine Vision. Treasure Cruise. That is a really good find. Oh my gosh, this is one that's just super, super close. Would having the Heliod's Pilgrim change anything? I guess there's Knightly Valor that I could have had in my hand. But I like having Heliod's Pilgrim as a surprise element anyways. Let's see what they find here. I'm just hoping they just tap out. Just tap out. 5 cards in hand for the opponent. By the way, my opponent is also on like a... Is this another 33, 4... They're on a 46 card deck. What is happening? What is with these decks? I don't know about the 1-mana spells in this format, I'll just say. Why are people... Is there like a... Okay, I might be behind the curve here. Is there like a school of thought? Are people really all... Is that the new meta? Is that the new meta? Is everybody just supposed to play 46 card decks in this format? Because you don't want to deck yourself? Maybe it is. All right, on the play, and yeah, certainly keeping this. And given my mana situation, I think it's prudent to just play out the Sajiri Shelter. Yeah, absolutely. Hero of Heroes plus Knightly Valor. Ooh, the combo. You can tell I'm really excited about it. I mean, it's fine if I can pull it off, but a lot of good balance and interaction here in this format. I will say my first impression of this format was wrong. I thought that there was just not enough interaction, and there's plenty of good ones. I just didn't draft any of them in my first deck, and I was blue-green. Blue-green definitely lacks interaction, I will say. Don't Wild Slash me. I mean, there's a delay here. It could be Rimrock Knight. So there was a delay, and they didn't Wild Slash. So I feel like Rimrock Knight could be a possibility if that allows you to target other things. We'll see. It is a Rimrock Knight. What did I... You know, sometimes you just get reads. All right, I'll play the Pilgrim here. Blocks the Rimrock Knight super well. I don't care that they know that I have it. All right? It's fine. I just don't have to play it right now, that's all. And if they put something on the Rimrock Knight, next turn I can still go Heliod's Pilgrim into compulsory rest. Is this like Fall of the Hammer? They keep looking at their Rimrock. What the hell? I will take the 2-for-1. I will take the 2-for-1 all day, every day. Wow, Hero can potentially do some serious work here. How do I want to go about this, though? A 5/5 seems amazing. Yeah, let's do that. This way, even if they haven't answered to the Hero of Erois, I still have a 2/2 in play. And they're going to need a really good removal spell to kill a 5/5 in red-white. They're going to need specifically, what, Compulsory Rest, I want to say? Are there any others? Granted, they knew about the Unflinching Courage, so we'll see how this goes. 4 mana for the opponent. What you got? Pia and Kieran Nalaar. Oof. Oh me, oh my. They have 4 cards? Man. What do I do? I just feel like if they had a way to kill this, they would have, no? Yeah, this is tough. I need to play a way where I just don't completely destroy myself. I have a game plan. I just don't know if it's a good one. Okay. So here's my plan. Hear me out. My plan is to play the other hero and put Unflinching Courage on that one. Okay? And then let them figure out what they want to do. Okay? This way I have 2 5/5s in play, and it's going to be tough for them to have answers for both, right? And I don't want to play a naked Hero of Erois, because then they can use the Pira and Kieran Nalaar to finish it off. So I think this is okay. It lets me kind of hedge, and if they have something like a Compulsory Rest, I get to kind of divide the power and toughness here. Obviously, I don't get the big lifelink attack, but I'm at 19 life, so I'm not as concerned about that. I'd rather just make sure that I have 2 big threats in play to deal with a potential removal spell from my opponent's side. Next turn, I might just play both of these little creatures and then figure out what I want to do after that. If I draw a green source, that also makes things interesting. Monastery Swiftspear, okay. Is it a Fall the Hammer? No. Alright. Do they think I'm gonna block? Is there a raid card? Like, I don't know what's happening, but sure. Okay. 3 cards in the hand. Very, very interesting. How do I want to do this? Okay. Pro white, so attacking with this doesn't do much. I can attack with this. Still get to gain some life here. If I draw land, I can go Mentor the Meek plus Hero and draw a card. They clearly have something else other than the Sajiri Shelter. I don't think the Swiftspear attacks there unless they have some other combat trick. Martial Glory, Rimrock Knight. Rimrock Knight doesn't do it though. It must be Martial Glory. So I'm thinking Martial Glory plus something. Heart Piercer, Manticore, okay. That doesn't do anything. What do you... Okay. What do you... 1 damage to me? Oh, Boulder Salvo! There you go. Boulder Salvo. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright. So this is a... It's what, 8/8? 8/8 Vigilance? 4, 5, 6, 7. Goodbye, Monastery Swiftspear. Our creature has reach too, so that's really nice. So basically, a spot removal spell would be a disaster here. But outside of that, this is looking okay. And we can try to gas up a little bit with the Mentor of the Meek plus Hero of Line of Tower. Okay. Oh! Rogue's Passage. Yeah, let's just do that. Can't be blocked. Can't be blocked. We got to hit them back. They hit us with it, so, you know, we got to hit them back with it. Down to 2. I'm not going to play the hero because they have Pierre and Kieran Nalaar. Will the Rogue's Passage get it done for us? Yes, it will. Rogue's Passage for the win. Okay, 4-1. Lost to a very good Esper tokens, just Esper value creatures deck. And otherwise, things going fairly smoothly. Okay, on the play here, okay, yeah. No 1-drop, but hey, we can still curve out reasonably well here. We have turn 2 Leaf Crown Dryad into District Guide, get a Forest into Gnarlback Rhino with an Unflinching Courage. So at least we're on the play, and we get to curve out nicely, right? Oh, even better, turn 2 Hero of Erois over Leaf Crown Dryad. Crawl Harpooner is the play from the opponent. Oh, Smiter? Do I play the Smiter or the District Guide here on turn 30? Smiter just gets in for a lot of damage. I'm going to attack. The reason why is if they're happy with this trade, then the Smiter, there's a much higher chance that the Smiter can actually just get in and not worry. And our opponent didn't block. And if we don't draw land, well, guess what? I mean, the thing is, this gives us the most upside. If I naturally draw a forest, it's great for me. And what is this attack? Okay. If I don't, then I can just play District Guide and get a gate. Yeah, let's just do that. And that gives us a second white and a second green, so it's not terrible. Here I probably block, right? Although Clear Shot, I guess, exists. Ob Nixilis' Cruelty, okay. Alright, so now things get interesting. I don't really care about Hero. Like, I guess I have the Unflinching Courage available, but I just feel like this is a turn where I should just play the Gnarlback Rhino. Yeah, let's just attack. Whatever. Just like, I just have a better board here, right? It doesn't matter, really. So if they... I'm just constantly putting pressure on. And yeah, Pilgrim's Eye is certainly not going to get it done here. And this is probably a good turn just to try to push through a ton of damage where I can. So I do like just going Unflinching Courage on the Rhino here. Oh, I should have put it on... Well, no, I get to draw a card off of this, right? This is fine. And I'm actually just going to play this. And just put maximum pressure. Now if they kill the Rhino, I still have more things left over. This is only bad if they have a sweeper. Halo Scarab. Oh. That is an artifact. All right. See, punish the dirtily 5-color decks. Exactly like what happened to us in the previous draft. Just punish them. Curve out, have the timely combat trick or removal spell or aura, and just end things quickly. There's a reason why the aggressive colors seem to be the ones that are most successful. 5-1. Okay, well, I will say, we've been drawing well, and 5 wins is basically kind of the upper end of what I thought this deck was capable of. So anything after that, just gravy. Just gravy. All right, here we just need land number 3, because we have turn 2 Leaf Crown Dread. All we need is land number 3 to play District Guide, and that'll unlock our hand. And we found it. Oh, it's one of those days where I get to at least play Magic. I love playing Magic. I mean, I don't know if you know this. I love it. Magic is so fun. Oh, I could have played the Smiter. Yeah, I don't know. Wow. Reveal the top 5 cards and separate them into 2 piles, and I give them one of those piles? What are the cards? Okay. Yeah, maybe I should have played the Smiter. You can have this pile. I guess it worked out. Okay. I mean, this is a big board. Maybe they have a Follow the Hammer? Boulder Salvo. That's really good, yeah. Okay. I have to... It's like they could have a Consider, right? Which is kind of rough. Was there an instance where they could have played it, though? Yeah, I think there was. So I'm attacking. Wait, why are they not blocking a 2/2? Okay. I played this because I think it's just better than Woodland Wanderer here, given that it works with shoulder to shoulder. Couple of Storm Chaser Mages. I'm at 20 life. If I die here, I'll be very sad. Philology Archaeologist. Okay. What did they hit? Oh, they're taking Treasure Cruise. Yep. Oh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Experiment 1 is a pretty free attack. I can go shoulder to shoulder and pump these 2 on the left, and that just makes blocks really difficult for them. So why don't we do that? We drew a land. So now we can attack with all. All right, they're at an effective 6. I have 3 lethal attackers. Basically, this Treasure Cruise has to be very, very strong for them. But they're close to probably turning things around here as well. So that was a good turn. Where they went, what is it? Storm Chaser Mage, Archaeologist, Boulder Salvo. Like, I thought I was super far ahead. And now, we'll see. We'll see. Treasure Cruise can certainly turn things around. All right, 5 cards in hand for the opponent. Blue-red spells. What you got? Wow, that was probably the worst creature to target. Yeah, if they killed this and then killed another thing, they would have been fine. Did they just kill themselves? Oh, they have the land. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that they boulder salvo the wrong thing. That's the issue. I can't Heliod's Pilgrim for something that'll win me the game here. So let's just play Woodland Wanderer. Pump the Experiment 1 here and get them down to 1. Play the Guild Gate. Next turn I can get Armadillo Cloak. Or sorry, Unflinching Courage. Armadillo Cloak is the boomer version. But I think we're looking pretty good here now. Play with Fire is not going to get it done. Another beatdown deck, although their deck was really sweet. Izzet actually has a pretty good win rate. I haven't drafted it yet, so I'm really excited to draft a good Izzet deck. I'm assuming it's more of a tempo-y deck. Like with Cyclops and Storm Chaser Mages and stuff, but I haven't had the opportunity to draft it just yet. But green-white beatdowns. We are now 6-1. We've gone first a lot, by the way. So I will, yes, we have. Okay, opponent on the play. Unlucky on the draw. What is this nonsense? All right, our hands, we're going to keep this though. Forest, Plains, Sajiri, Shelter. So 3 lands with a compulsory rest, Smiter, District Guide, and Tactician. Definitely keeping this. If I draw a land, then I might not play out the Shelter here turn 1. Okay, I drew a 5-drop, so let's just play out the Shelter here. Now, given that I don't have a 2-mana play and my opponent went turn 1 Cloudfin Raptor, I'm probably just going to fire the compulsory rest off here. Just because this will grow. That's fine. They used Jwari Disruption. But they have no creatures, and I will play out the Smiter. It is uncounterable. Boom. Okay. It is definitely bounceable, though, I will say. Definitely bounceable. I would love it if my opponent somehow just played an enchantment. Like a Biden of Thassa or something. McKindy Slide Runner doesn't do it. Boulder Salvo? Another Gust of Wind? Okay, you know what? This is getting a little bit annoying there, friend. It's getting a little bit annoying. Just gonna throw that out there. How many Gust of Winds do you have? I will say oftentimes people just don't take this card high enough, and like the blue tempo cards seem to still be underdrafted, and they're very good. Gust of Wind is fantastic, especially in a Cloudfin Raptor deck. Are they treasure cruising? Okay. Selesnya Charm. Okay. Do I want to get a forest or a plains? Because I think this is a great turn to double spell. So I think what I'm going to do is get a... What are my double green cards? Just because I have Ardenvale Tactician in my deck? No, I'm going to get a forest. I'm going to get a forest. Just because I have double green card. I have 2 double green cards still left in my deck. Alright, let's do that. Our hand is really solid, so we'll see what happens. Burning Anger. Oh, nice. Okay. Okay. Alright, you got your value there, buddy. You got your value there. But it's just for a turn. You got your value, I get my value, right? That's only fair. That is only fair. I'll keep the Calling Ambush in my hand. They're at 10 though. We have the bigger creatures here, which is very good for us. And having Shoulder to Shoulder plus Selesnya Charm on this board seems fantastic. They're really gonna need to lean on some removal here to push things through. Boulder Salvo here would be amazing. Anchor to the Ether. It's very good. Does this give trample? Oh, it does. Oh my gosh, okay. That can actually be very, very good for us. Although I'm at 13. It's not lethal. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If they block, it's not lethal. And I'm at 13? Oof. That is an odd block. I'm just debating whether or not I need to play this Colony Ambush. I'm gonna keep it. Three cards in hand for the opponent. Very, very close, probably. Given some of these blocks, I am very scared, I will say. Etherling? Whoa! Wow, okay. 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 Now what? I think it's play Leaf Crown Dryad. Then I have Selesnya Charm and Colony Ambush. Woo! This is close. Etherling is a busted magic card. Man, I thought I was looking really good, and then they played one of the best rares in the set. So, they can just go for it. But the thing is... Let's see. The Cloudfin Raptor doesn't actually kill us. So I might want to use the Charm for a trample if they attack with both. I mean, I'm certainly blocking the Cloudfin Raptor. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is so brutal. Okay. I have access to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. I can cast these two and then chump with this. Wow. I'm actually gonna kill them if this happens. They have one card in hand. Oh, yes! What a game! Selesnya Charm for the win. Let's get it done. Woo! I guess I'm a beatdown player now. Just trying to draft the control decks didn't work, and boom, check it out. From 1 and 3, drafting Chromantic Core nonsense to this. Blue and white certainly was very, very open. I think we could have had a really solid blue and white deck, but I thought we did a pretty good job navigating this green-white deck as well. Just curving out naturally, lots of stuff to do with our mana still, with kind of the enchant effects, the Heliod's Pilgrim with 4 targets was nice. Spell lands and Rogue's Passage also meant that we continued to just have things to do. And yeah, I mean, this deck could have used maybe a few more 2-drops. We had 4 2s and 2 1s. I think if this Seed Guardian was just another Leaf Crown Dryad, or just anything, a Keening Apparition, our deck would have been slightly better. But this deck just played out well, much better than I thought it would, and we got a trophy. So I am excited to try all the other aggressive variants. Like, I want to try the red-white aggro deck. I want to try the Rakdos Sacrifice deck, the blue-white Flyers that clearly work. So a lot of these proactive strategies seem to be working, and I feel like we did a really good job of punishing the slower decks that played a bunch of Guild Gates, because, like, what is the payoff, right? Playing a bunch of tap lands to splash a handful of removal spells isn't necessarily a recipe for success. You need to be able to turn it around in another way. You need to be able to have treasure cruises after you play a lot of your cheap, efficient removal stuff. And like I said, that last game was super duper close, but we were able to get it done. Good curve, beatdowns, green, white, getting it done. I am happy with, of course, the result of this draft. And I'm going to be doing a lot more. Like I said, I'm going to be doing Pioneer Masters draft until at least the Pioneer Masters Arena Open happens. And then afterwards, maybe a new Masters set comes out. Maybe another set comes out. I actually have to take a look at the calendar. What's next? Let me know in the comments below. But for now, we're going to be focusing on Pioneer Masters because we need to win us some cash money to start out 2025. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, as I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more daily videos just like this. If you've enjoyed this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That is patreon.com/paulcheon. Really excellent community. You get to join the Discord, and a lot of people looking to improve their limited game in the channel as well. Additionally, check out tcgplayer.com for all your TCG singles and sealed product needs. Whether or not you need a booster box or some singles to round out your commander deck or your standard deck, check out tcgplayer.com and make sure you click that affiliate link in the description below. Last but not least, go to heavyplay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories, deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, all that good stuff that you want to take with you, all that swag. Check them out. Heavyplay.com/paulcheon will get you 10% off your first order. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.